Welcome guys to this absolute thriller race in Fuji in the GTE Fixed Series. Guys, we were starting in P4 alongside Kieran, and sadly for whatever reason the guy in second mark, he has missed the start, as we almost jumped the start once we got the hold speed sign. Anyway, start was really good, and that Ferrari had an acceleration.
What the hell?
As we directly mentioned to Jerne, and well, turn 1 was fierce. We were braking hard, braking late, going wide on purpose because we were scared of being rumbled over on the inside, almost losing 2 positions, but of course Kieran in the Porsche got ahead of us again as he was starting on the inside lane, going down turn 1. It was a 22-minute race, but I can tell you it was 20 minutes of hard, nerve-wracking work. And if you appreciate these videos, guys, please consider subscribing the channel, ringing the bell for more highlight videos. Speaking about highlight videos, we jump into lap 4 the first time. We go side by side with Kieran on the outside lane here, late on the brakes, still side by side, but sadly not with a better run into turn 1. I tried to go a little bit for a switchback, but had to suffer from understeer on the exit. Even into turn 2, not really a chance for us to do anything, so we had to back out of the move.
Yeah, and it was just locked.
Just 3 laps later though, Kieran then laid on the brakes towards the hairpin into turn 7. Yanni with a little bit of moving on the braking, but both were side by side through 8 out of 9. And you know, when 2 people are battling, a third one can join the party, capitalize on the scenes. So we went on the inside of Yanni, which gave us the outside for the penultimate turn, laid on the brakes, fighting the car with the balance, trying to leave enough room on the inside, yet though a little bit of content. However, we could stick our nose into the final turn and got out of it first onto the start of the endless long straight. And yeah, and it was straight in our slipstream. And remember the Ferrari that accelerated so well from the grid, straight in the slipstream into 6th gear we go. But the Ferrari with a power boost,
And Ferrari goes brrrr.
going brrr alongside, and once again we took it late on the brakes, and that seemed really a benefit for the Porsche there, as we could keep the position round the outside out of turn 1.
Porsche brakes go brrrr too.
Yeah, and the Ferrari brakes go wee.
With a little bit of joking, we are in the middle of lap 8 with just 10 minutes to go, and now we had to hunt down the leader at the front. So what was happening right here? We are closing the gap. This has been the point where we have been really much better than Kieran into the braking zone of this turn 7. That always allowed us to close the gap through the tight hairpins going up the hill, those twisty and difficult sections. I just tried positioning myself a little bit better for every exit, running a little bit of clean air, running a little bit of a different line, just anticipating what Kieran ahead was doing. And then on the run to the main straight, a little bit of a moment for us, with Kieran trying to break the slipstream as much as possible. At this stage we have come a couple of times close, and Kieran always went defensive like here towards turn 1, so we knew we had to pick the outside lane. But as much as we had to pick the outside lane, we said, nope, not gonna do it this time. Late dive up the inside, we could break the car, got a little bit of a bonk from behind, and actually took the lead in lap 10 with 6.5 minutes to go. But of course Kieran was still close and really not gave up. Remember what he did on Jerne, a late lunge towards turn 7 also got us moving late on the braking, and then a very opportunistic move on the inside. Actually, I was not too happy about that, but fair and square, he did nothing wrong. He just maximized his position as much as he could, retaking the lead. 5.5 minutes to go on the outside towards the final turn of the circuit. We go for another switchback, trying to get a proper run onto the main straight, and here we went. Obviously, having sold our dummy last lap already, Kieran was warned, Kieran knew what could have happened, and also we had a much better run much earlier. However, we haven't really had the overspeed as we're approaching the braking zone. Once again, we go late on the brakes. We see Kieran is on the inside. We couldn't turn in, so decide to go for a switchback, and that actually sealed the deal. What an acceleration for us out of turn 1. An absolute beautiful move into the lead again, and we are rewinding what happened in this lap. As we saw, Kieran laid on the brakes, also locking up a little bit there into the hairpin, and then his opportunistic move.
What he did was right.
And as I said, what he did was right, because if you have a closer look, and we're going to have a closer look here in the bigger picture of things, I just chickened. I was just scared. And he really surprised me with that attack, running me into a small error, if we are 100% honest. Because as we are now going into the bird view, there we go, you will see that I am driving a couple of meters too long, too straight. However, it was probably a smart decision to just let it happen at some stage and not allow Yane to have another look onto us. And that also got us obviously the chance to compromise the entry of Kieran for the final run, for the final lap. And yeah, that was actually a very, very smart move from Kieran. I anticipated it, hopefully also in a good way. Arguably, it allowed me to do this pass after all, so not too much time lost in the actual battling. And guys, I think, and I'm happily having your take on it, this was a beautiful switchback. Perfectly timed. I locked up a little bit, but I actually needed that lockup in order to create the overlap in timing, to create that perfect timing for the switchback coming down. As you will see from the bird view, we're coming down towards turn 1 side by side. I still have a run, I still have the overspeed, I also have the outside lane though. And as we go onto the brakes here, I brake later, I brake harder, and here is the perfect switchback. A little bit of a lockup, but at this stage I'm in full control of the car. Really just 50-60 centimeters of space between my bumper and his rear, and he just took the minimum speed that he could take from that angle in order trying to defend the position, which really allowed us to go for that switchback move. Something we haven't allowed him the lap before. As you know, we have parked our car on the exit. If he did the same to us, we would have probably also bonked him in the rear, not getting into the lead. And that actually took us to the end in the last 5 minutes. No more action. We took the flag in P1, and I think that was a really, really action-packed race. Guys, let me know down in the comments area below what you think of the moves, what you think of the rules, everything fair and square, or rather not.
I was doing